Any tips for me?
For the most part, there was one moment when you swooped in to heal the assault in the dome after he evolved to stage 2. I feel that was really unnecessary, just because he wasn't even below half health, and I feel that you like Slim. I think is a long range healer by far, especially with the recent changes. I love that you use Spore Cloud. Like I cannot say that again. That Spore Cloud is by far the best thing he has going. Like even if people are at half health, I feel that Spore Guns are usually the better call than trying to heal. It's that strong. The best way to play Slim, in my opinion, is to basically go from a distance, throw a bug on somebody, especially support. They can cloak and heal themselves. And basically, Slim is kind of like a battlefield control, just because you're calling people to go in and out of combat. Because once you're in combat, you get hit, the bug dies. But if you put a bug on somebody and they get out of combat and start focusing from a distance, that's really good. That's a lot of passive healing. And then you basically just use your AoE when the time suits. But I really like that you were using your Spore Gun. And aside from that one time when you swooped in with the heal burst, I think you were doing really good as Slim.
Alright, sir.
When I'm playing with Slim, I usually shield when I'm half health and about to get more damaged as Assault. Like, if I'm down to half health and I know maybe the next ability will hit, I shield instantly. Because I think it's easier for a medic to heal like an Assault up again if he's half health and the shield runs out, than if I wait with my shield till I'm like down to 10% health. And when my shield runs out, then I'm on 10% health and he has to heal me up then. It's a lot harder for a medic to do that than just if I keep myself above half health.
Yep. Good game. Okay, so I got a recommendation to try Barracks. I feel that this one change in Barracks makes this a totally good monster map now. Like that tunnel is, especially if you get domed in that tunnel and you have the high ground as the monster, especially with someone like Behemoth or Kraken, dude, you just like rape the hunters bad. It's hilarious. But no.
Can target the monster downwards, but not upwards.
Exactly.
Stage 2.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and try that one out. So we're going to go ahead and do Barracks. We'll try Med Lab after this. But yeah, I feel that after playing the tutorial on the PlayStation 4 with Evolve with the controller, as well as watching the current meta, mostly like the win percentages and who picks what and when, definitely noticeable. For instance, on consoles, very rarely do you see Griffins. But you see them a lot of times on PC a lot because the aiming mechanism is very, very different, and I feel that the aiming on the hunter side especially is a lot better on on PC than it is on console. I think Kraken is picked the most. One, because it was flavor of the month for a long time, but two, hold on, I don't want to start coughing again. Ooh, a Parnell. But the reason why I think Kraken is, or was, picked, and now it's the flavor of the month, is Goliath, apparently. I feel that most... so this is a two-answer question. I feel that a lot of professional players... I feel professional players fall into one of two categories. Hi, Aiden. Look, is that the monster? Rawr, good job. I feel that most of them... 90 to 95% of professional players basically follow the current meta. They know what's kind of popular, and they kind of stick to that. I would say 5, maybe 10%, but in general, and this goes across all competitive games, Magic the Gathering, Netrunner, you name it, those are the ones that think outside the box, and they're the ones that go against the meta. They are the ones who show up with decks where you go, what the crap is this? And you totally get owned by it. And that's how I feel a lot of the current tournament teams are. So when Kraken was winning, everyone went to Kraken. When Goliath was seen to win slightly more than Kraken, everybody moved to Goliath. And so I feel that it's just going to go bouncing back and forth, because I don't think there's enough professional players, let alone professional players that are wanting to change the meta. People are kind of just sticking with, oh, this works, and so I don't really feel the need to change. Second of all, Kraken is probably the best monster to do what's called the domino effect. What that means is that once you get a strike on somebody, or once somebody goes down, it's very easy to turn one strike and or down into a win right then and there. just because of the ability for his burst. And then once you have like a strike, it's really hard for the hunters to try and do a good job. And Hadrosaur taking a little bit of damage from these mammoth birds once again. But that being the case, though, Kraken, I also feel, punishes aggressive hunters. And hunters are very aggressive. Even in a dome, it's very easy to be out of position. You're all like, oh, quick, kill the monster, and you don't even realize that you're grouping up. Too many hunters don't just park their butt on a rock and sit there and keep shooting the monster until the rest of their team catches up and things like that. Like, against Kraken, you really need to play defensively, much more so than other monsters. Behemoth is also another one that you have to play defensively, and that's one of the reasons why those monsters are kind of picked more, is just because, or they were anyway, is because a lot of hunters did not have the self-control to kind of hold themselves back. I still feel that Kraken is probably stronger than Goliath, but between those two reasons, you're not going to see too many Kraken players right now. That and a couple of the good Kraken players don't really play very often in tournament levels. So that's one of the reasons, and I apologize, that went on way too long. Let's get to the game. So really good engagement area for the monster. He's got lots of pillars to work around, got a mammoth bird, has a decoy, Griffin harpooning the monster. Ooh, and fantastic orbital, going to keep the monster away. I feel that orbital probably is always best used for defending himself or the medic, and no one else. But fantastic work of the spore clouds. I love seeing the yellow dots everywhere, doing a great job, and the monster taking permanent damage, needs to get out of there. We'll probably be able to take a little bit more. Great harpoon at the end of that, and they should be able to do, maybe not. I feel that Warp Blast is an easy time for the monster to get punished because you're stationary in the air in the same spot for a little while. Monster getting some more armor. Does not look like it has. Doesn't look like it. Looks like he was having some problems feeding there. So it'll be interesting to see where the monster goes. If he goes downstairs, and it does, the monster going towards the caves. It would be interesting to see if he tries to juke back, throw a decoy, and then try and back up there. Looks like the hunters are not falling for it, and the monster is going to be getting away. Nice Dune Beetle in here, able to slow down the hunters. But it looks like the hunters are doing a great job of keeping up. Support by themselves, though, needs to be very careful. If the Wraith comes out, could do a lot of damage here and quickly bust away. Now, interestingly enough, when you have Slim, Slim does not really work with hit and run. So a lot of times if you're playing against a Laz or a Val, you see somebody and you want to do some damage to them and then run away, because Val will get slowed down and Laz has a very hard time recovering that. Here comes the Dome, there's the engagement, and fantastic work. Another stage 1 in Dome, and let's see if they're able to get a bit more permanent health. So I like that Killers is up here and stays there. I'd like to see him stay up here for the most part, just because, one, he covers this area, so if the monster does come back here and hide, he can't do that. And I feel that too many hunters are too eager to just chase the monster. Only the Assault should really be doing that. Everyone else should be just kind of sitting back, and it looks like the Assault was getting hit by a Reaver. Ooh, Assault low on health. Needs to be very, very careful. If I were him, I would actually have Slim call out the heal bug, because it looks like the monster's not engaging. So a heal bug on Liquidity would probably heal him up to full, just because the monster's not engaging and he's staying away with his rocket launcher. Ooh, Liquidity, very low, needs to be very careful. And Slim looks like he's finally getting up, and there's the bug. There's the bug. I would have liked to see that a little bit earlier. And once somebody has a bug, make sure you call it out so that the AoE, ooh, everyone's grouped up. That's very, very scary. And the orbital separating the hunters and the monster getting away with about a third of his health intact took a lot of punishment there. Would have liked to have seen a little bit more Hank shielding and Slim using his healing bug and calling people to get out of combat. So it looks like Hadrosaur trying to do a little bit more damage, I guess. I'm not too sure if he's given... If he's just thinking that he's got... Oh, Griffin, fantastic harpoons. Getting the monster... That invisibility on decoy is so horrible now. I really wish they'd fix it back. So Hadrosaur, tiny sliver of health, not even ready to evolve. 2/3 of the way to evolve, and let's see what he does. This mammoth bird could be very, very scary to him. Needs to start working on getting some food, because here come the hunters. Oh, and you don't want to do this. You don't want to die from the mammoth bird. Oh, and there, unfortunately, the mammoth bird was his undoing. Parnell saw him and went around the corner and killed him. Take it easy, one troll. And dead as well. GG. Those mammoth birds just don't like you, Hadrosaur.
Yeah,
They don't like anybody.
really OP.
Every time I fucking pick Parnell, it's Wraith. It's fucking disgusting.
You are disgusting.
Hey,
I hate Parnell.
Oh, okay.
you
I thought you were not.
should be, happy with Parnell when you're Wraith, because Parnell is usually pretty bad against Wraith.
Well, I'm not your average Wraith. I'm terrible.
Okay, so first of all, pretty good. Hadrosaur, again, you just had problems with getting some food in the beginning, those mammoth birds. I feel like that once you know better eating routes, I think that's just the most important thing is just map knowledge in general. In combat, you were okay. I don't like that you were trying to hide in that one corner when Parnell was just hosing you with rockets. Once it was made clear that he was just doing that, I would have come out and tried to engage or make some work with the pillars. It was a horrible dome, though, for a monster. It was very open and not much room for you to work with. That being the case with Slim, I feel Slim could have thrown a healing bug on the assault when it was clear that the monster wasn't engaged in the assault, because the healing bug would have kept him up to full and forced the monster to start engaging the assault, in which case he could start using his shotgun a little bit better, or he would have just topped him up, because it took a long time, because you were Parnell was pelting him with rockets the entire time, and staying far enough away that I think that you would have been able to heal up to full relatively easy and keep you out of harm's way. That being the case, I do like that the rest of you were outside, that you all didn't chase after the monster in the cave. Basically, you pick a high ground spot and you just kind of work with that instead of chasing the monster. I feel too many people are a little too aggressive, and if you just kind of sit at a high area that has a good vantage point, you don't really need to do much moving, because the monster is either going to get obliterated by the assault, or the monster pokes his head out and everyone starts shooting him, and it forces the monster to go back in, allowing the assault to do its job. So I did like the positioning in that Senket Dome. But yeah, like that mammoth bird at the end just didn't cooperate, didn't want to get stealth pounced, and then just like ate your face.